introduction. And like to start off by saying that I'm truly humbled and I feel really honored to be standing here and talking about nothing else but my own journey and try to make it a little inspiring if I can for everybody who's wanting to be a fashion designer or follow their dreams. When I was invited to have a talk here at TEDx at NIFT Jodhpur, uh, it took me, it actually made me pause in this fast-paced life and took me within myself and couple of years back, and I had to deep dive into how my childhood was, how I grew up, how my school years were. And I think that kind of nostalgia, that the whole experience of how you grow up and how you do things in a way that actually define what you will be in the future is something that I just realized because of TED Talk and because of deep diving into myself and my journey. As a little girl in school, I remember these days where I was just about an average student on paper and more interested in what's happening outside the window. I would just focus and do some, I always had a pencil and a paper with me, and I would only wait for the teacher to look the other way so that I could just do some sketching, some doodling, and be it still life, be it drawing my best friend's face or anything, I was always with a pencil. And little did I know that time that this pencil would make me what I am today and help me in creating so many clothes. There was a time when I think it was about 7th or 8th grade where you grow up and you just start learning about trends and fashion. That's when I started wearing bare t-shirts or jeans or just about your basics, but I would uplift them in my own way just by sticking sequins or by putting some crystals and wearing them to our own parties and events, where I would go for birthday parties and people would come up to me and say, which brand is this? And I used to proudly tell them that I created this. So that's how a couple of my friends started telling me that, why don't you take this home and do something, do your magic on this and bring it back. And so yeah, my journey as a designer, not professionally, but as a creator, began way back. Cut to me growing up as everybody around me in college, in high school, or my cousins around me when we had to go for family weddings. And we were told that we have to dress up wearing Indian. And Indian in those times meant auntie or bhenji dressing, because we would just raid our own mother's wardrobes or get into our grandma's saris and just go for a function, being just another version of them and not feeling ourselves. That's when I started creating clothes which were resonating with the modern or the Western culture, if you may call it. I started creating clothes which had a lot of inspiration from Western cuts, silhouettes. They were more girly, they were more playful, and they still had the Indian element in them. So I never wanted to create fusion. It was just blending modernity with the traditional garments that we have. I think it was about 2012 or 13 when I started attending these social events where I started wearing a lot of anarkalis. And I also remember the first anarkali that I wore was inspired from a waistcoat that I had, which had bandages at the back. So I took out the pattern of that waistcoat and I blended it with an anarkali as a bottom. And the party that I attended, I had almost every girl come up to me and say that they wanted it. They wanted to wear the same dress. And sorry, I forgot to mention, I'm not from a fashion background. I have not studied fashion. Everything that I am today is all experience taught and not education taught. Maybe things would have been different if I was made by education. But in my experience, when people came up to me and they wanted to wear the outfit that I was wearing, was that push that was needed at that time that, okay, let me create something and maybe start a business of my own. And from there, I started taking ideas, sitting with women, and asking them what they want to be, what they want to look like. And to be very honest, every woman I met and every client that I dealt with just wanted to look like the best version of their own self. They wanted to be cinched at the right places. We as women are blessed with a contoured body. And if somebody can enhance that and give you that confidence to wear and be your own self, the best version of yourself, I think that's what everybody wanted to be. So when I decided that this might be my career, this might be my profession, wherein everybody thought it's just a hobby, maybe me too, I also thought that I'm going to take it up as a hobby and just follow what I was doing as a child and turn this passion into profession. I didn't know the basics. I didn't even know what a pattern was, or what a khaka means, or what is the exact step of actually bringing an outfit from sketch to reality. So that whole process, I feel I've been really, really blessed to have met amazing people on my journey. My master Gs, my tailors, everybody who's been with me have grown with me. We've all grown together as a family, I feel. I started off when I got my first few orders on the few outfits that I made. There was no collection. It was just me wearing me. And I started off with just one Master G and two tailors in my own backyard. I also set up a little studio where I used to meet clients who used to come. Everything was just word of mouth. It was just flowing because this was the time when social media was coming up, but it wasn't the platform where we are now lucky to have a platform where we can market ourselves so well. But back then, it was more word of mouth than anything else. So we used to get clients at my house, and we used to meet them and make their clothes, and they used to attend more parties. And then I've just been blessed with such beautiful people who've supported me in everything, and they would bring out their families, their friends back to me, and I would just make more and more clothes and just enjoy the whole process. I feel when you enjoy your work, when you follow your passion, and when you actually do what you really want to do from within, everything else, money, fame, name, everything else are just byproducts of what you're doing. So it was never in my head that I'm going to make so much, so and so, or have so many factories, or build a name or anything. It was just me following my passion, and I feel if you do it with all your heart, there is nothing that can stop you. And that is something that I really feel that I would want many people to know. I proudly tell people that I'm not from fashion background, and I proudly tell people that I started very small as a hobby. And the only thing that has to be in everybody who wants to follow any dream is the dedication and the thrive. I think I am somebody who would never stop. And maybe I'm here today, and it's a big honor for me, but this is not where I'm stopping. Every milestone that I achieve gives me a feeling that there's so much more that I want to do and I want to achieve. So there was this time when I was creating outfits, not knowing what the real identity of the brand would be. The brand is by my name, but there was no identity to it. I was creating what I wanted to create. Sometimes it would be solids, it would be tone on tone, it would be handloom, it would be florals. Florals also happened as an experiment. And I used to get inspiration from something and then create that whole collection. Floral, I feel, has become the identity of the brand. It's also very, very special for me because the inspiration of florals has only and only come to me from my own grandmother, my nani. And I feel it's the identity of the brand, because we've not only done florals the way many other people are doing, but we've done it in an aesthetic way and added that little touch of what I am or what my personality is. I feel that even at the workshop when we're all sketching, we're all designing, I have a team of designers now, I, I would never let them put a flower where it's supposed to be, or put a butterfly, all the butterflies flying in one direction, or all the petals looking beautiful. I'll always make sure in our prints also, it is as close to natural and imperfection as possible. So we'll have different sizes, we'll have more real pictures, more realness in every outfit, and I think that's the beauty of it. Symmetry can be boring, so I'm far away from symmetry or perfection that way. And I think all artists are. I feel that is the beauty of art. And I feel maybe because I'm not from a background where I have been following rules, or there's no rule book that was given to me, I feel I've just been a free soul creating on a blank canvas, and that's exactly how I achieved the identity that the brand has today. I'd like to also share how we got to know that, okay, this is where we should stick. Not that the brand is only known for florals. We, of course, want to, as creative people, we want to explore more and more, but this will always be the essence of Mahima Mahajan. I remember way back, we had just started off, and there was this collection. By that time, I had got the groove of creating collections and shooting them and putting it out there. There was Instagram, there was more marketing happening around that time. And a very good friend and a great stylist, Tanya Khavri, put one of my off-shoulder lehengas. At that time, an off-shoulder lehenga was not seen, to be very honest. And she put that on Jacqueline Fernandez. And that, I think, changed a lot of things overnight for me. That's when that off-shoulder lehenga got noticed. That's where blending so much Westernness into Indian wear got noticed. And soon after, I had many clothes that were seen on actresses, on influencers, on people who helped me in marketing. I think all that was also a big kickstart for me. Soon after that, we realized as a company, I realized myself, that it was just a passion, a hobby, and something that I was doing for myself with two tailors, getting in from a room to a bigger hall, to an entire building, to many, many factories. It was a journey that I couldn't then carry myself, and that's a message that I want to also give out to all of you. As artists, for me personally, I am great at art. I'm very chaotic. I love everything that's not put into place together. That's how I am. I'm against cleanliness. Like, it just doesn't happen. I don't know how to structure things. But that's my suggestion. Do not force yourself to be something that you're not. If I wake up one day and say that I'm great at finance, or I'm going to structure my company, or get into labor issues or operations, or into scaling the business, I will fail. The best thing that I am is at my art and at creating what I love creating the most. I feel for everybody, it's very important to know that, okay, this is the time that I have given to myself, to my brand. Now the brand is there. We need to scale up. There was a time I was looking out for a helping hand, somebody who could help me in numbers, somebody who could take the business tenfold, somebody who could actually let me focus on my creativity so that I don't have to do all the running around and the scaling of the business. I was looking out for a helping hand in terms of investors. That's when, again, I'd like to mention that I've just been very blessed and lucky. My own husband came in with his gifts. His gifts are his his financial background, his economics, his numbers. And that's where he took the company. It's been about 2 years, and he's taken the company to a different level altogether. And I think that's also happened because I get to focus at what I am best at. And that's maybe for everybody, that when you know that you've achieved what you have and what is giving you that creative satisfaction and you want to go ahead, you don't want to stop, it's great. It's okay to, maybe eat lesser from a bigger plate. Start looking out for investors, start looking out, ask for help, ask for numbers, anybody who can take you up there. So I think that's my story of how it's been. And also I feel that clients nowadays are, the whole world about fashion is really, it's growing. Indian fashion is growing. The entire international market is getting into Indian wear. There's so many investors, so many fashion houses who look up to India and Indian fashion. So it's great that you all have chosen fashion as your field. Also, I feel we in our nation are never told to be a fashion designer. It's unfortunate, but everybody has parents who've been telling them to be doctors, scientists, engineers, and that's something that you're being told to do, but nobody tells you to be a designer. So if you all are here as students of NIFT, you guys have taken that choice, and I feel that you all have that power because this is your dream, this is your own want, and there's nothing that can stop you.